Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir, and what's on tap for today? Well, we have got a question answer session of Matt Walsh. He was at the University of Iowa, and a young woman, a biological woman, asked Matt Walsh, what can biological women do to protect biological women from competing against biological men in biological women's sports? So let's hear her ask her question to Matt Walsh. Let's hear Matt's response to it, and then we'll give you a reaction to it as well. So stick around, folks. We're going to get to that right now.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Okay, hi, Matt. My name is Mary. I'm a senior here at the University of Iowa. Earlier in the fall, we were told to turn down the temperature of our guest speakers because we were inciting violence. It was conservatives' fault. So I'd like to thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
If you don't know, for the first time in school history, our women's basketball team made it to the national championship. And as someone, yeah. I am a woman, if you couldn't tell, who would like to have daughters and granddaughters. I was just wondering how we as college students can protect women's sports.
I think that there are people that say that it falls to the women to be the ones who take up this mantle, and I agree that it partly, like, we can't do this without women. So a big part of the story here is that ultimately, if we're going to get rid of the madness of men competing against women in women's sports, it has to involve lots of women in these sports saying, I'm not going to compete if you put a man on the court or on the field with me or in the pool with me, because now this is a farce, it's not real, and this whole thing only exists now to support this person's ego, and so I'm not going to do that. That's what women have to say. And there are some women who are saying that, but we need a lot more. And if you had even like 30% of female athletes, 20% of female athletes, I don't know, 15% who said, I'm not going to compete, period, against men, then I think this all goes away like in a day. But it's not all, I don't think, as men, I don't think we leave it up to women to be the only ones to fight any battle. I'm traditionalist. I think men should be on the front lines of every battle. And so I think that men need to be involved too. and that also involves the fathers. Oftentimes I wonder, when I see, especially in the younger sports, boys involved in girls' sports, I always wonder, well, where are the dads of these girls? Why aren't they standing up and saying something? Some of them are, but too many aren't. So either way, it's the people who are connected to the issue and actually involved in the sport, whether parent or athlete, who need to be the ones to put this all to an end. Thank you.
So just ended at that, basically. I think that was a great answer from Matt. But I think what really has to happen too is, as Matt was saying, is that there's going to have to be some sacrifices made. And unfortunately, that's what happens when these situations arise. We see that throughout history, whether it's, women trying to get votes, women trying to get their rights, women trying to get whatever it is, in terms of laws passed for them to have equality with men. And so the early women pioneers that were doing that were protesting, that were trying to make the policies, some of them, obviously, they went to jail, they were protesting, they were shunned by society, shunned by other women, shunned by men. I mean, all these things happened. They lost positions, they lost jobs, they lost careers. And what's going to happen is, as Matt says, is you're going to have a groundswell. You are going to have women that are standing up within these sports and saying, you know what? That's it. I've had enough. I'm not competing. You're going to have it happen at the big time championship level. You can't be having it at small time stuff because no one's going to cover it. But you're going to have it at the NCAA level, at the Olympics. You're just going to have to say, you know what? Okay, fine. You want that man to compete, that biological man to compete in my sport? I'm not playing this game. I'm not running. I'm not swimming. I'm not competing. I'm not lifting. I'm not running. I'm not whatever it is. I'm not playing basketball. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not playing tennis. Whatever sport that is, where a biological man says that he's a woman and wants to compete in that woman's sport, they're going to have to do it. Dads, Fathers, parents, they're going to have to swell up. Mothers, where are the mothers of these daughters? Where are the fathers of these daughters? That's what we're talking about, aren't we? Right? Athletic directors, principals of schools, these people are going to have to take a stand and are going to have to say, you know what, maybe that causes me to lose my job or lose something in the community or lose this or lose that, lose a scholarship, go to another school. I mean, those are tough choices. They have to be made individually. But until that happens, nothing's going to happen, folks. The LGBTQIA plus community is just going to continue the transgenderist, lobby. They're going to continue to gain power and money and strength, and they're going to steamroll through these things, and it's just going to completely it'll obliterate women's sports as we know it. That's exactly what's going to happen. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Let us know what you think. My final thoughts, as always, is when you're right, you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Until then, take care and stay safe.